Hello students, welcome back to your science class. Welcome back to your science class students. So students, in the previous class in this chapter, that is we had already completed with the chapter that is chemical effect of electric current, and now today we will going to start with some natural phenomena. Actually, in some natural phenomena, the name is given the natural phenomena. So here we will going to discuss about the phenomena which occur in nature. In class 7, we have already read about the wind, we have studied about the storm, we have learned about that of the cyclone. So, cyclone and all this natural disaster causes a lot of a damage to the human life and to that of the property. You can also learn that we can protect ourselves from these destructive phenomena to some extent. And in this chapter, we will going to discuss about the two other destructive natural phenomena. So before that, a student, we have studied about that what are the different types of a natural disaster which occur in the environment. And in this one, we will going to discuss the so basically, these are what the two natural disaster which occur is that lightning and that of the earthquake occur. Now we will going to discuss that what are the different steps which we can take to minimize the destruction which is caused by the different phenomena. The first one is what student, that is lightning. Actually, in case of the lightning, we so in here we will going to study about that of lightning. So in case of a lightning, you might have seen sparks in the electric pole where when wire become loose. This phenomena is quite common when wind is blowing and shaking. Okay, and the shaking of the wire. Yes, this happens even with that of the electric pole. You might also have seen sparks when a plug is loose in its socket. Yes, this also happen when the sparking occur. Okay, lightning is also an electric spark, but on a huge scale. Yes. So see here, students, that we have understood here that lightning occurs because of the electric spark, and this sparking occurs with a huge with that of a huge scale, on a huge scale when this lightning occur when this so here you will find that lightning, if an electric spark occur on a large scale, on a means when a huge or a large electric spark occurs, student, that will be what that will be the lightning only. In ancient time, people did not understand the cause of these sparks. They were therefore afraid of lightning and thought that wrath of God was visiting them. Now, of course, we understand that lightning is caused by accumulation of charges in the cloud. We need not to be afraid of lightning, but we have to take precautions to protect ourselves from the deadly sparks. Yes, absolutely. Now see here, basically we are knowing that what is a lightning. We have understood now that it is an electric spark and which occur on a huge scale, and we really not need to be, there's no need of being afraid of the lightning, because we are already, we can do here that we can take the precautions to protect ourselves from all these deadly spark. Now, the spark that the Greek knew about it is the ancient Greek. They knew as early as 600 BC that when amber, amber is what? It is a kind of a resin, and this kind of a resin was rubbed with the fur. Actually, amber is rubbed, when it is rubbed with fur, it attracted like light objects such as hair. You might have seen that when you take off woolen or polyester cloth, your hair stand on end. If you take off these clothes in the dark, you even see a spark and hear a crackling sound. Okay, so amber is what it is basically used when it is rubbed with the fur. Then what happens, it charges, and then you will find that it starts attracting the light object towards itself, a light object like that of the hair towards it. Not only this, we have also seen that the woolen or the polyester clothes are there, they will also show such kind of attraction with the hair strands on one end. Even if we take off the clothes in the dark, we can see the sparking, and even we are able to hear the crackling sound from it. Benjamin Franklin, he was an American scientist. He shows that lightning and the spark from the cloth are it is actually the same phenomena. However, later on, this process, this whole lightning thing, and it takes a lot of a time to understand about that of the lightning. So before we go and try to understand about that of lightning, there is a few things that we must know about the charging. Basically, charging is what? This charging is done by three methods. Charging by running. Second one, it is the second is the first one is the charging which is done by the rubbing, and then the charging by induction and charging by conduction is also the three different types of a charges is formed here. So let us see how the charging occur by the running student. Rubbing. So we have taken a ball pen refill and rub it vigorously with a piece of a polythene. Okay, and bring it close to the piece of a paper. Take care not to touch the rubbed end of the refill with your hand or with a metallic object. Repeat the activity with small pieces of dry leaf, husk, and mustard seeds, and record your observation also. So basically, we have taken a ball pen refill, and we will rub it with that of a polythene. Now, when we bring this ball pen closer to that of the piece of the paper, then what will happen? This refill will starts. What happened? This refill will starts attracting uh, the dry leaves or the husk or the mustard. It means the lighter object. Okay, and why this occur? Basically, it occurs because of the rubbing. So the question arises that why rubbing is causing the attraction. So see here, rubbing causes the attraction as it actually make the object charge. So when a plastic refill is there, when it is rubbed with polythene, it acquires a small electric charge. Similarly, when we take a plastic comb and when we rub it with the dry hair, it acquires a small charge. So in both the cases, it acquires a small charges. And these object which is now charged is called as a charged object. In the process of the charging, the refill and the plastic comb, both of them get charged. So when you rub it, what happens? It will either lose some of the electron, and as it will lose some of the electron, it will become positively charged. Other one will gain the electron and it will become the negatively charged. So electron get transferred from one object to the other object, and due to which we can say that one object loses the electron and other one gains the electron. And because of that only they get charge here. Now once the two objects are charged properly, so they start attracting towards each other. Let us try to charge some of the other object that is familiar. Let's see here, refill. So material that is used for rubbing is polythene, woolen cloth. Balloon is an object that we have taken when we rub it with the polythene and the woolen cloth or the dry hair. Eraser here, the material that we use is the wool. So all these methods are what in which we used to rub it with the other object, and due to which one gets charged, or we can say both of them get charged. Okay, and due to which starts attracting towards each other. Now what are the different types of charges are there and their interaction also. So what we will do here we will inflate two balloons and we will hang them in such a way that they do not touch each other at all. Now rub both the balloons with the woolen cloth and release them. So we had inflated two balloons and we have hanged them so that they do not touch each other. Now we will going to rub both of the balloon with that of the woolen cloth and we will going to release them. What do you observe? We observe that when we rub it, both of them with that of the woolen cloth, they start repelling each other. Because this time both of them are having the same kind of a charge. Now let us repeat this activity with the used refill. Rub one refill with polythene. Place it carefully in a glass tumbler using the tumbler as a stand. And then Rub the other refill also with the polythene. Bring it close to the charge refill. Be careful not to touch the charge end with your hand. Is there any effect on the refill in the tumbler? Do the two attract towards each other or repel towards each other? In both of the cases, we have taken the same object in order to rub the other one. So we have taken the polythene in order to rub the both of the balloon with the same material. And similarly, we have taken the polythene to rub that of the refill with that of the same polythene. So because of that, both of them they get the same kind of a charge. And when they get when both of them they get same kind of a charges, so they start repelling each other. Okay, so repulsion can be seen here. So what happened in case of a balloon? They start showing the repulsion, due to which we can say they start moving far away from each other. Now what we will do that we will do this the same thing within another method, and this time we will rub a refill and place it gently in a glass tumbler as we had kept it before. Now bring an inflated charged balloon and near to that of the refill and observe. Now we have taken one of the balloon which was inflated and rubbed, and we have taken a one of the refill which was which was also charged. Now since both of them when you kept it, then it starts attracting towards each other. Why is it so? Because now the charges which is present on the refill and that of the balloon are what? They are different. And unlike charges, they are having the property that they used to they used to attract each other. So one is what? That is the like charges. Like charges attract each other, repel each other, but unlike charges are there. These unlike charges attract each other. Now let us summarize the observation. Charge balloon, it repelled another charge balloon. A charge refill is there which repel the charge refill, but a charge balloon attracted a charge refill. Does it indicate that the charge on the balloon is of a different kind from the charge on the refill? Can we say that there are two kind of a charges? Can we also say that the charges of the same kind repel each other while the charges of the different kind attract each other? Now you see here we have understood by all this that if both of them are having the same kind of a charges, so they start repelling each other. But when one is having the one kind of a charge, another is having the another kind of a charge, it means both of them are of a different charges, so they start repelling each other. Okay. Now we have understood by all this that all the if the two objects are there, both of them are of a different charges, they are the unlike and they start repelling each other. Now, is it convection to call the charge acquired by a glass rod when it is rubbed with the silk as positive? The other kind of a charge is said to be negative. So, suppose we have taken a glass rod and when we rub it with that of the silk, the glass rod acquire a positive charge, while that of the silk is what it acquire the negative charge. What does that mean? Here, because of rubbing, the one get positive and the other one get the negative charge here. So two different charges are present. It is observed that when a charged glass rod is brought near a charged plastic straw rubbed with the polythene, there is attraction between the two. So, when a charged glass rod is brought near a plastic straw, then why this attraction occur? It is because both of them they get different kind of charges. So, here you will find that the charged glass rod, when it is kept to that of a plastic straw which is rubbed with a polythene, there is attraction. Why is it so? It is because, now see here. Actually, when the electric charges are there, the electric charges between them is what? One is the positive and another one is the negative only. So this attraction occurs, students, it is because of the unlike charges. Now the electrical charges generated by rubbing, they are static and they do not move by themselves. When charge move, they constitute an electric current. Actually, Actually, when the charges they used to move, we know that how the electric current flow. So electric current flow with the help electric current actually occur with the help of the electric charges which is flowing. So the flow of the electric charges are responsible for that of the electric current, right? So we can say here that electric charges generated by that of the static, they are what they are responsible for the constitution of that of the electric current here. Now current in a circuit which makes a bulb glow, or the current which makes a wire hot, is nothing but it is the motion of the charges only. Okay, so we can say here that it is because of the charges, the flow of the charges will constitute that of the current. Okay, now see here how the transfer of the charges occurs, students. Now this activity is given. Activity is what? Take an empty jar, take an empty jar bottle and take a piece of a cardboard. We have to take an empty jar, and we have to take a bigger size of a than the mouth of the bottle. Press a hole in it so that the metal paper clip can be inserted. So we have to press a we have to make a hole in it so that if we want we can add, or we can put a paper clip into it. Now we will cut two strip of the aluminium foil about 4 centimeter in into 4 centimeter into 1 centimeter each. Hang them on the paper clip as shown. Insert the paper clip in the cardboard lid so that it is perpendicular. So you can see here in activity 15.4, student, that we have to take an empty jam bottle and we have to we have to take a piece of a cardboard which is basically which we can say it must be slightly bigger in size than that of the mouth of the bottle, and then we will going to make a hole so that a metal paper clip can be inserted through that of the cardboard. Open the paper clip as it is shown in the figure 15.4. Actually, with the help of this process, we are making an electroscope which help in explaining the transfer of the charges. Now we will cut the two strip of the aluminium foil which is about 4 centimeter into 1 centimeter, and we will hang it on the paper clip. When we insert the paper clip in the cardboard lid so that it is perpendicular to it, then now what will happen, we will charge that of the refill also with the help of one end of the paper clip. Now see here, by this help of the diagram I'll explain each and everything to you people. Now see here, student, in this experiment you will see that a jar is there, and this jar is what, it is covered with the cardboard mouth and a metal lid is there. This metal lid is actually having a the two paper clip, and this paper clip is what, that is the paper clip is there. Now we will take a glass rod, and this glass rod is a charged one which consisting of a positive charge into it. Okay, it is having the positive charge. Now when we bring this positive charge glass rod to that of the metal strip which is actually consisting of the metal clip, then you will find here that the charges will start flowing from the glass rod to that of the metal clip. Okay, and due to which it start moving far away from each other. Okay, or so when we bring that of the glass rod to that of the metal clip, what you will find that the clip will start moving far apart from each other, right? So this aluminium foil which we had actually used in order to make that of the metal clip, they start moving far apart from each other. So which proves that they are what? They are showing the repulsion. And then when we when we touch it, what will happen? Again it will come back to its original position. Why is it so? Because when an uncharged body touch it, then the electrons which was gained by that of the metal clip will start flowing from the charged body to the uncharged body. So this is how we can say that the transfer of the the charged body is, or the electrons will start moving from that of the charged body to that of the uncharged body. So this is how, this is a simple electroscope, student, which explain actually about the transfer of the electron. Okay.